Merry 9th day of Techmas, everyone. Now, we've talked before in the past about how powerful it is for the students to be reading using the iBooks app on the iPad. It allows them to go in and add notes, it allows them to add bookmarks, it can have it read to them, and it could also go in and make definitions and define things for them. So the tip I want to share with you today is a little bookmarklet that you can install in the Safari web browser on the iPads that's going to allow you to convert any web page with text into an iBook. Now, this is great for a personal standpoint if you prefer reading and making notes as you go through, but especially for the students, this is a very powerful tool to use. Check it out. All right, so I mentioned that there's a lot of great reasons why you want the students to open something in iBooks. It's not just for iBooks. If you send files to there, the kids can take notes on those documents and they can highlight and they can share those notes. And they can also, if they need to have the text read to them, they can do it from there. So what I'm going to show you is how you can use the dotEPUB bookmarklet to take any website that has text on it and save it into iBooks. So here we are on the Middletown Area School District website. What I want to do is I'm going to select this article here about the Hershey Bears coming to Kunkel Elementary. And one of the things that's very helpful anytime you're reading anything, especially news or things, you know, the kids and adults, I know I fall into this category a lot. I get distracted by all the ads and, you know, the links that can be found on the side. So if you tap up in the top where the menu bar is, there's going to be kind of a section up here that it looks like a little paragraph icon. If I just tap on that icon, it's going to make distraction-free reading. So it's going to strip it down to just being the text and the images. So if you're reading on the device, now you could also increase or decrease the font size by clicking on those letter A's. So I recommend doing that first before you convert this to an iBook. Now, I'm going to show you how to set up this part as soon as I'm done demonstrating it for you. But I notice up here in my favorites bar, I have, it's called dotEPUB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap on that, and that's going to now give me the option to open this up in iBooks. So right here, I'm going to tap on that. And here it is. It took the article and it stripped it down to just the text, but it made it into an ebook format. Now again, those benefits that I said about using this is the kids now, they don't need to be online. This now exists locally on their device, so this is a great thing for them to do while they're at school if they don't have an internet connection at home. But from here, I can highlight the text just by tapping on it. And the students can now, when this menu comes up, if they want to have it speak the text, they can have it speak. They could copy and paste that text into, say, Pages or another document that they're working on. I'm a big fan of the highlight feature, so when I go to tap on highlight, it's going to give me the highlight menu. And they have the ability, depending on like your reading strategies that you're having the students work on, you might have them highlight different types of text or different passages with a different color. So they could select the color from here. They could also underline if they need to, so it can underline some of those passages. Some other things they could do is when you highlight, you can also tap the notes section and you could add notes. So I just said very important point. So over here, I can highlight again. I just want to put another note. So I'm just putting some generic things in there. So notice now when the students look at this, you're going to see a little note section over there. So when they're going back looking over it, they can pull up those notes again. Now what this will also allow them to do, if you go up to the top left-hand corner where you see the little bullet points with the lines, if you tap on that, this will give you it'll give you a preview of the book. It will show you the content. So obviously I pulled a really short article, but if you pulled a really long article, there might be several pages to this. But now, if they added bookmarks to it, they would show up there. But I want to show you what happens when I tap on notes. When I tap on notes, every section that I highlighted will now appear, and it will also add my notes that I put in. So for a review strategy for the students, this is a fantastic way for them to take a look at the content. Now they can actually share these notes by tapping up here in the box with the arrow coming out of it. And you'd think you'd want to click on Share Book. That's just going to share the headline of the book. But if you go down to where it says Edit Notes, I can now select those notes and then tap share up here. And I'm just going to share it through email. Maybe you want the students to send this. But notice how it puts all that information into a nice email, so now the students can email that to you. So I'm just going to hit cancel. So right there is just a very powerful way of why you would want to send files to iBooks for the kids to use. It really gives them a lot of flexibility for what they can do, and it helps them personalize their learning. So let me show you how to set this process up. All right, so first and foremost, right here I have Safari window open and I have two tabs open, as you can see. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have your favorites bar listed on here. Now, if yours is not visible, like mine is not visible at the moment, you're going to go into your settings, and you're going to scroll down in your settings until you see Safari. When you tap on Safari, you're going to see a whole lot of options here. So you want to scroll down to where it says Show Favorites bar, so that's under General, it's in the second major area, and you just turn that slider on, so that will show your favorites. So now I'm just going to go back to Safari, and you will see, and it's very faint right now, I have, it shows Apple, Disney, ESPN, and Yahoo. Those are the favorites that are kind of by default on the iPads. You could customize that favorite list to be whatever website you want to use, and we'll get to that in a moment. So you're going to want to go to dotEPUB's website, and you'll see it's dotEPUB. It's pronounced dotEPUB, not dotEPUB. So you go to dotEPUB. And the purpose of this page really exists just to give you directions on how to set up this bookmarklet. So you can either follow along with what I'm doing, or you can go through and take a look at what they have here. Now, in terms of the installation, you have a few options. Since we are an iPad school district, we are going to use the EPUB format that will allow you to pull it into iBooks. But say you have a Kindle at home, they support you as well, so you can do the Mobi option there. And I recommend choosing the immersive mode that eliminates the links and the images, because that could be an extra distraction for the kids. But you can change that to be an ask at conversion time, so when you go to do that actual conversion, it will kind of prompt you to see if you want to put it in. So again, the directions show up down here at the bottom, but I'm just going to walk you through it. Now you're going to see this section in the middle here where it says select and copy the following text. This is probably the hardest part of this entire process. In order to select it, you want to first get your cursor so a cursor shows up somewhere in that text, and then you want to hold your finger down on it till the little magnifying lens appears, and then release it. At that point, you can choose select all, and you can choose copy. Now I'm going to close my keyboard here because I'm not planning on typing it. So what you need to do at this point is you have to make a bookmark. You want to add it as your favorites. To do that, up in the top of your menu bar in Safari, you're going to see the box with the arrow coming out of it. I'm going to tap on that, and I'm going to select the option down here that says Add Bookmark. So this will actually create your bookmark. You can choose where you want it to go by tapping location. I want to add it to my favorites so that it shows up on that favorites bar, but you can add it to other folders if you have them. This is my training iPad, so I don't have a whole lot of folders listed here. But again, I want it to be on favorites so that it shows up right up here on the screen. Now, what you need to do at this point is, here's a little tip. Anytime you see a little X in the area, this here is what it's going to call it as a title. So it's going to be the same as what you see here, dotEPUB, download any web pages and ebook. If you just hit that X, that's going to clear out everything in that area. So I'm going to just call it dotEPUB. So at this point, you need to hit save. And that's saved the dotEPUB. You should see it showing up here in your favorites, but we're not done yet. This will just take you to this page. What we have to do is edit the address for this bookmark and paste in this bit of code that we already copied. So to do that, I'm going to tap up here on the book, because that's going to show me my list. Since I put that dotEPUB bookmarklet in under favorites, I'm going to tap on favorites. Then I'm going to go down to where it says dotEPUB, and I'm going to tap edit. So I can now select that, but now instead of just editing the title, I can tap down in the space below. I'm going to clear that out. I want to paste what I copied earlier. To paste, I hold my finger down and I choose the paste option, and then I'm going to tap done. So you'll notice now it'll say you'll have your dotEPUB, and instead of it being the link to the website, the dotepub.com, it's going to say JavaScript, and then it's going to have some code in there. That just means you were able to successfully paste it. So at this point, I'm going to tap back over here on favorites, and then I need to go down here at the bottom because I'm now done editing that. So from here, I'm just going to close this. I like having as much of my screen for navigation as possible, so I'm just going to tap on that book up there. So it'll bring me right back to my page. And I'm going to go over to the website again just to test it out to make sure that it worked. So again, I highly recommend when you're getting ready to export to an iBook that you tap on the paragraph symbol up there at the top. And again, that just gets rid of your distractions. So now at this point where it says dotEPUB, I tap on that. And it may take a try or two to make sure that it reads the code properly. But at this point it says open in iBooks. And now that article is in an iBook. So this is a very helpful tip. I recommend trying it out on your own. While it does have a series of steps that can be a little confusing, once you have it set up, the power of using this is amazing. All right, I hope you enjoyed that tip. Have an excellent day.